AstraZeneca, you mentioned that the U.S. has 7 million doses, releasable doses, and the company itself has said it expects to have up to 30 million in April. Given that, will the U.S. consider lending, sharing more of these doses with the other countries that are asking, now that you've confirmed that you're doing the same for Mexico and Canada?
We don't have anything to preview, but we all, have a number of requests from a range of countries around the world, and certainly will continue those conversations.
Okay, but no commitment at this point to share specifically the AstraZeneca vaccine with others? Well,
I will say, broadly speaking, we also anticipate having additional doses of Moderna, of Pfizer, of a range of vaccines, even as we focus on vaccinating, ensuring every American, every adult American has access to the vaccine. It's just a matter of timeline. So I just don't have an update or a preview on that, but certainly we'll have those conversations, and we are open to receiving those requests and obviously making considerations.
All right, and just on one other issue, your new U.S. trade representative will be ceremonially sworn in later today.
97-0.
That's
I think was her vote.
Big number.
It's pretty solid.
How soon will she start leading trade talks with the UK?
I don't have anything to preview. Obviously, that's driven by the policies and the agenda of the president and the overall economic team. I'm sure we'll be integrating her into all of the policy discussions as soon as she's sworn in. Let me just get to the folks in the back. Go ahead.
Thank you, ma'am. A couple quick questions. When you were talking a moment ago about diplomatic negotiations between the United States and Mexico, you said crisis on the border. Was that a
challenges on the border?
Okay, but so that doesn't reflect any change in the administration's view of things.
Nope.
Okay. Well, another quick question then. On Monday, the president said it's important to get the vaccine, and then quote, even after that, until everyone is in fact vaccinated, to wear this mask, unquote. Was he speaking generally, or does he believe that we should all be wearing masks until everyone is in fact vaccinated?
Well, I think what he's reflecting is the guidance from our health experts that even if you're vaccinated, I am vaccinated, I still wear a mask because there hasn't been conclusive studies yet on the transferability of the pandemic or of COVID from those who have been vaccinated. It continues to be the advice of health and medical experts to continue to wear masks.
Right, but every American, is that the standard until every American has been vaccinated, or was he speaking generally?
I think he's speaking generally about the need to still observe measures like social distancing and wearing of masks so that even when you're vaccinated, you're keeping your neighbors, your friends, your family members safe.
Yeah. And then back in January, you noted that the administration was reviewing how unmarried couples were handled under travel restrictions. Have there been any developments on those restrictions? I know that there's a lot on the administration's plate, but in how unmarried binational couples are treated?
I don't have any update for you. The review is ongoing.
Can I ask you one more question?
Sure.
Thank you. You're very generous. The Equality Act, as it's currently written, would eliminate the Religious Freedom Restoration Act as a defense for religious organizations against discrimination claims. Given that President Biden voted in favor of RFRA, does he support it being abolished now?
I would have to check on the specific components of the package. I'm happy to do that for you after the briefing. Go ahead in the back.
Thank you very much, Jen. 2 East Asia question and 1 Asian American question, if I may. On U.S.-China talks, can we expect the joint statement after talks?
A joint statement between them? I don't have anything to preview. I know that National Security Advisor Sullivan and Secretary Blinken will be speaking briefly after the talks conclude, but I don't have anything to preview for you in terms of a joint statement.
Okay, another question is, according to Japanese media, Japanese Prime Minister Suga will meet President Biden on April 9th. Can you confirm that?
I know there have been reports about a future meeting, and the president's certainly looking forward to meeting with the Prime Minister of Japan. I don't believe a final confirmation has been made here of what that meeting will look like and what the format would be.
Okay, and 1 Asian American question.
Okay.
On the unfortunate Atlanta shooting, we already see the half staff outside. Yesterday, you blamed the prior administration about this, which some people agree. but as what Axios reports, quote, the United States' rivalry with China had already created unease about Chinese Americans and Asian Americans, unquote. And Axios says we are going to see a huge jump in hate crimes against Asian Americans this year. So it seems to be that President Biden is in this catch-22. On the one hand, he is trying to alleviate the hate crimes against Asians and Asian Americans. On the other hand, he's kind of escalates the tension. How can he really alleviate this situation?
I would just refute the notion of that question. I would say that yesterday I was asked, which was a good question, if we thought that the former president's rhetoric had contributed to the actions or the discrimination against Asian Americans, and I said we do, because rhetoric, certainly from the massive megaphone you have from the White House, is something that is heard across the country, and it's important to then be thoughtful about the words you use and how you convey opposition to discrimination of any kind. That was the answer, the question I was answering. The president and the vice president are meeting with leaders of the Asian American community tomorrow. The president raised his concerns about rhetoric, about attacks, about threats against the Asian American community in the country during his primetime address. He signs an executive order. He's asked his members of administration to listen, hear, think about policy solutions. I would say his effort is to be part of the solution, not part of the problem. So I would just dispute your question.